Hey guys, John Brown here with Explore Park City Living, associate broker with Keller Williams Park City. And today we're going to be talking about the ski industry, Vail Resorts, effect on Park City, the whole thing. So I grew up skiing, spent years competing World Cups, chasing winners, living in this sport at a high level. And now living here in Park City, it honestly feels like skiing is starting to change in a way a lot of people aren't talking about. Well, at least how we're going to talk about it. When I first got into skiing, it didn't feel like a luxury. It kind of felt like something you could do and be a part of. I mean, I went skiing every week with my school, just one day a week. You ride all day with your friends, figure it out as you go. And yeah, it wasn't cheap, but it wasn't what it is now. So fast forward to today, and you look around Park City, Deer Valley, and all these mountains, and something feels different. I was just in a meeting breaking down Vail Resorts, the company behind Park City Mountain, and we got into the data that backed up exactly what we're all feeling. The ski industry hasn't really grown. It's basically flat for decades. Even though that seems like it isn't true, because the traffic definitely feels like there are way more people and the lift lines and all that. But what Vail did wasn't grow skiing. They built it into a system to control it. That's where the Epic Pass comes in. You lock people in early, you guarantee revenue, then go out and buy more mountains. Park City, Whistler, all over. And it worked for them. They now control over 20% of skier visits in the whole country. But here's the part that hits close to home. To make that system work, they pushed pricing hard. Lift tickets have basically tripled since 2008, and you feel that here for sure. You feel it when your friend comes into town. You feel it when somebody's deciding whether to take a ski trip or just go out for the day and not worry about it. But now 75% of skiers are on passes, which means most people here already paid. They're locked in. And if they didn't buy one, they're not skiing. But what happens is that, disappearing casual skier, the person flying in last minute, the friend visiting for a weekend, the kid that's just trying to get into the sport but can't do the full upfront commitment. That's where it really starts to matter for Park City, because this town isn't just built on skiing, it's built on people discovering skiing. Then you look at Deer Valley, and it's almost the total opposite model, more controlled, more premium, more experience-driven, high-end. And honestly, that's where a lot of high-end buyers are leaning towards right now when they're looking for real estate. Because if you're going to pay a premium on prices, you want to feel the premium experience. And here's the stat that really stuck with me. The average skier used to be 30 years old. Now it's pushing closer to 40. That's not a shift. That's a huge warning sign, because if you're younger, people aren't getting into skiing. They're just not just missing one season. They're missing their entire lifestyle entry point. You can see that local kids are still in ski programs, and that's strong. But destination skiers and first timers and casual, that pipeline feels thinner and thinner. Then you lay over this year, visits are down 6% year over year and roughly 12% below recent averages. Yeah, snow hasn't been great this year, actually the worst, but that's not the full story, because now Vail is reacting, discounting buddy passes, cheaper advance tickets, trying to bring people back in. But from actually being here, living it, talking to people on the mountain and just like being in the lifestyle, this doesn't feel like just a pricing problem. It feels like an experience gap, right? If Park City is going to compete at the level it's priced at, the experience has to match. And this is where Deer Valley is definitely pulling ahead and winning, not because it's cheaper, but because it's consistent, it's controlled, and premium all the way through. And this is where it really connects to real estate. Park City and Deer Valley are two very different bets right now. Park City Mountain is scale, access, volume. Deer Valley is experience, exclusivity, and that high-end buyer. What we're seeing is a split. The high-end market is still strong, probably stronger than ever, to be honest, because that buyer isn't slowing down. But the middle, that's where things are getting tighter. The more price sensitive, more hesitant, and if skiing continues down this path, that gap probably gets wider. Skiing isn't going away, Park City isn't going away, but it definitely is evolving. And the version of this town 5 to 10 years from now might look very different than, the one we grew up with here in the past. And if you're buying here and selling here, investing here, that shift is everything. So a little breakdown on what's going on. Also, I kind of wanted to hit on the Vail Resorts stock price. It's been going down the past couple of years. Declining revenue is just a big no-no on the stock market, and the growth is not really there anymore because they stopped buying and growing just by acquiring new resorts. So their growth stopped in that sense, and then they peaked out on price, and they're reaching a price sensitivity ceiling, and they're actually having to come down. And the age from 30 to 40 going up is also a huge warning. So they have to do something about that. That might be a lost leader to gain the younger crowd that doesn't have that high-end money to pay for an experience. So what does help is we're getting Snow League next year. It's Shaun White's new competition. I'm gonna have a whole video on that, so stay tuned to the channel. But yeah, declining revenues, especially with last year's strike happening and then this year's snow levels down. It's not looking good, and the price reflects that in the stock. And they also pay like a 5.4% dividend for MTN, I believe is the stock ticker, which is a huge premium. So they're definitely, having margin compression issues as well as paying out that dividend. So we'll see if they come up with an excuse to maybe lower that dividend or what they're going to do with that. But yeah, it's kind of rough. There's a transition here, and let's hope Vail Resorts gets it right. They put their old CEO back in charge, so let's see what kind of moves they make next year. See you guys.